Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us for today's HBMA Live, or those that are watching this after the fact. Hello. Please help me to welcome our guest today. We have Karna Morrow with us. Karna, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Absolutely. I've been in healthcare. Okay, let's just all pretend we started in kindergarten. I've been in healthcare for about 30 years, and I've had the opportunity to be in just about every function in the non-clinical side. So I have always stayed on the business side, whether it's been as an auditor, consultant, office manager, and now I'm on an EHR side.
Fantastic. Can you give us a little sneak peek about your session for this fall's HBMA conference? Tell us a little bit about what that session is going to be about.
Absolutely. And I really appreciate this opportunity because the more, once you start thinking about presenting, then all of this information comes up about your topic, and it just makes you, I just get really excited. So I mentioned that I'm now on the EHR side of our world. And, when I was an auditor and a consultant, I really maybe I thought the EHR was the bad side or the EHR was the problem. But now that I'm on that side, there is a significant amount of functionality in that little black box on your desk. And so I am really excited for this session to share that. I'm going to get the date wrong, so you're going to correct me. But HBMA just put out in their newswire, I think it came out like the 14th maybe. Anyway, one of your headlines, and I'll just read it. It says, nearly half of providers are behind on revenue goals amid RCM department labor shortages. And, as I mentioned, information coming up because that just ties in. The whole focus of this session is how can a billing company or a billing department really leverage that black box that's on their desk to address that headline? How many times have you been asked, where's the money? Well, that is a decade-old question, and unfortunately, we all still do the same finger pointing. Oh, the coders didn't submit it. Oh, it's the biller's fault. Oh, it's the payer's fault. Well, I want to lead a session for the members that really develops more of a proactive treatment guide, really addressing, the root of that question. But it's going to require we shift our paradigm. If you're the billing company, how do you define when your role starts? Well, most billing companies will say, well, when I get the charges. I'm really seeing a shift. We work with a lot of billing companies who use our software, and I'm really seeing the ones that are successful, the ones that are holding on through all of this pandemic of shortages and everything, are the ones that are helping the practice before the charges are posted and are really taking a proactive approach. And so I'm really excited to focus on that. If I can just share one example.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of MIPS. That's our favorite four-letter word.
One of.
The rhetorical question, who's responsible for making sure the practice is in the bonus category, not the penalty category? Now, if you'd asked me 3 years ago, everyone would have said, well, of course, the practice. But what I've watched is, think about it. In 2023, the providers are going to get hit with those penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so each of their remits is going to have a reduction, a withholding, or whatever you want to call it. It's going to be 9% less than it was yesterday.
Right.
So if they make 9% less, what does the billing company make?
Exactly.
We have to change that paradigm shift, and because reality is profitability for a billing company only comes from profitability of the practice. Mm-hmm. I have to take ownership. I mean, it's not sitting back and waiting, but I have to take a little bit more proactive attitude, and that's what we want to talk about in this session. I know revenue's down. I know there's 500,000 sitting in over 120 days. Not helpful. You've got
Right.
to give me something tangible. Teach me how to strategically plan that appointment calendar. Teach me how to, which policies and procedures should I help the practice define? Because it's going to help the revenue flow. Just in the session, we want to have a good, honest conversation about monitoring the right data. So we stop running on that same treadmill down the same hill to the same results. I'm sure you've heard it. This is the way we've always done things.
Right, right.
And that's just not going to help
Right.
in today's world. So that's what we want to cover in the session you're giving us the opportunity to host.
That is very exciting. That's, um, you know, proactivity versus reactivity is very often, it can be more challenging initially.
Mhm.
But I think once you get that momentum and that that mindset shift, you can really have some unstoppable momentum to have some really positive changes.
Mhm.
What are some of the things, some key takeaways that you want people to leave this session with? What do you want them to take back to their offices?
I want them to walk out with the skeleton of a treatment plan. Here are 3 tangible things that I can go back to the office tomorrow, get the right data out of the billing system, or help the practice get the right data out of the EHR so that I can have a better control over how that money is going to be managed once it does hit the AR.
That's awesome. That's exciting. I'm excited for this session because it's always, you can do everything you can to run as efficiently and effectively as possible. But there's always that room for improvement and room to learn something new to make yourself just that much better. So I'm
Yeah, and
very
we all know that once the patient's been seen and once the patient's checked out, we've lost about 50% of our control.
right.
And
Yep.
so what we've got to do is actively manage that piece. And I'm excited to share.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see you this fall in St. Louis and to listen to all of the great things that you have to bring to us for this session. Karna, thank you so very much for taking a few minutes out of your day today to give us a little sneak peek at the session. And I can't wait to see you this fall.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.